discombobulated right now.
Donald Bowles is giving the invocation tonight.
I can't read.
Donald Bowles is giving the
You okay?
invocation. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I know you're working on
My
formatting this
favorite.
one here. When you're working on it, do you think we could get away from these initial tabs on here?
This one.
Yes, that is the software.
The software.
Yes.
We added that on too.
Oh, the Texas pledge.
Yeah. No, no, no.
Candace, I think that's all of it.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go, guys. I call to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, July 1st, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. And we're going to call to order the quorum call. Which is
Just like here.
here,
Here.
here, here. Okay, now we're going to go to the invocation. And Mr. Donovan, let's all rise for it.
Father, we just thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for your hand upon our community. We just ask, Lord, that you continue to bless those in our community, especially those that are really struggling now. People have so many difficulties, so many problems they're facing, but we know by your grace that you'll help us through. And I pray, Lord, you'd help each one of us to constantly extend kindness and grace to each other, just to continue to make this a great city. Bless this council, give direction and guidance to this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, now we're going to go to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we're going to go to the Texas flag, which is on this side, which is
Honor the Texas flag.
I
I
pledge
pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to
to
thee,
thee,
Texas,
Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Indivisible. Okay, and now I want to thank all the citizens that are here tonight. And welcome for being here. And then now we're going to go to announcements. And it's the announcement of recognition for Public Works and Public or Police Department during Tropical Storm Alberto. And I want to thank y'all guys, Public Works. I think we did really good on, I know we had a little bit about the water, but it came in and out. And then I want to thank the Police Department and everybody else for being on it and making sure that everybody's safety is involved in it. Okay, now we're going to go to citizen communications. At this time, the public is invited to address the City Council and speak on any matter not specifically listed by public
No.
hearing.
We're on,
This one right here.
are we not going to?
Yeah, we did that, and then
City
there's nothing
managers?
underneath it.
There's- You have
Okay.
nothing?
Yeah, go ahead. City manager announcements.
Yes, want to call on the police chief to update us on what we're hearing about related to the storm that is in the close to it.
Thank you, Manager, Mayor, and Council. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. So our emergency ops coordinator there, Aaron Jones, has been working on this. They actually had a briefing earlier today on this storm. Hurricane Beryl, appropriately named, plans to barrel on through its course. It's currently a Category 4 hurricane, and it's expected to downgrade before landfall when it touches the Yucatan Peninsula. The track is still very much on par for that location, and they're hoping that we'll get a better indication, a more stable track after the Yucatan later on in this week. So we're paying a close attention to that. What we learned from Alberta, just to point out, is Well, for one, we all know you don't want to be on the northeast side of that storm. We saw what happened in Houston during Hurricane Harvey. And it looks like these storms are all slating us to be on the northeast side. I hope that that does change, because the storm flood or surge we experienced on Alberta, we were expecting 3 feet. We got about 4.5, just under 5 feet. And a storm like this could make that even more. And humans won't win against Mother Nature in a challenge like that. So we're keeping a close eye on it. We just caution the public and everybody just to keep an eye on it with us and make sure your safety strategies are in place. Thank you.
Okay. Now we're going to go to city council members' announcement.
I have nothing.
Okay. So now we're going to go to citizen communication. At this time, the public is invited to address the city council and speak on any matter not specifically listed for public hearing elsewhere in this agenda. Please note that the city council members may not respond to comments or deliberate on any topics if they are not included on this agenda. Each citizen will be allowed 3 minutes to address council. Citizens wishing to speak shall fill out a speaker request form located at the back of the city council chambers and deliver it to the city secretary before the meeting begins. City council has adopted a policy consistent with the state law that prohibits defamation, intimidation, personal affronts, profanity, or threats of violence, shouting, unruly behavior, and other similar behaviors that impedes or disrupts the orderly conduct of meetings, such as distracting side conversation. See section 2(1.1) for further details.
May I say something, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I was in touch with the Attorney General's office last week concerning the members or the citizen comment. And according to the Attorney General's office, if a member of the council wants to address somebody that's up there speaking, they can, but it includes their 3-minute deal. They lose their time if they want to talk. And that was from the Attorney General's office.
Thank you, Mr. Haskins. I'll be sure to follow up with you after the meeting to get more detail about that conversation.
Okay. No. Any comments from the audience?
You have the card.
Do you have the cards?
Yes, I do. They're right here. Okay, right now we have Joanne Dusick, Frank Bennett, and Monica Lott.
So you want to call one of them first?
Yes, who wants to be first?
You saying John Dusick, is that what you said? Yeah, okay.
There.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. My name is John Dusick. My wife and I are residents here in Aransas Pass. We have been coming to Aransas Pass since 2005 and permanently relocated here after Harvey. We live in the Pelican Cove subdivision. I also volunteer and serve on our Homeowners Association board, just for full transparency. I want to share and address a few recent experiences, encourage those responsible or those of you on the council and or mayor that represent us citizens in Aransas Pass in response to hopefully work to improve some planning, communication, as well as execution. Very appropriate that we talked about the current hurricane that is obviously out in the Caribbean today. The first one's probably most important compared to the other two, but the first one I'll hit. First is emergency planning and communication for the sea gates in the city that protect the city of Aransas Pass. During the approach of Alberto to the Mexico-Texas coast on Monday, June 17th, I inquired about the sea gate installation protocol and spoke to Mr. Aaron Jones, the emergency management liaison for the city of AP. He was able to provide a somewhat subjective response on when these gates are installed. I was not able to find anything on the city website or any other documentation. Perhaps it exists, but I'm unable to find it, and I didn't get that answer specifically from Mr. Jones, although a very good conversation. The decision to install sea gates should be clear to everyone that lives in Aransas Pass. Whether we're going to install them based on forecasted storm surge over a certain height or forecasted rainfall that could be devastating if contained in the city and not able to be released. or the immediate presence of a named storm that we are in the potential path. This protocol should be published and communicated to all citizens. The recent 3-foot forecasted storm surge did cause damage to electrical system, docks themselves, and other property. I'm not saying that they should have been installed, but I'm unclear on what the actual protocol is. And if we do have storm surge over 3 foot, which we did, likely would have caused more damage. So I would request that it, with an above normal hurricane season forecasted, which we're seeing already, it's crucial to have a clear, communicated plan that is ready to be executed on, that we're all aware of. The next two things are a little simpler, but I'm going to hit them really quickly. Second is the notification system usage. There have been instances of theft and trespassing in the Pelican Cove and Bay Harbor subdivisions, including several home burglaries, and a recent gas leak in Bay Harbor. During the gas leak, we learned that the city can selectively use the text call notification system, which is great. However, only Bay Harbor was notified that there was a gas leak. I think we should be using this system more proactively to inform residents of potential dangers, not just for road closures, water repairs, and if Chenery's burning gas. I do appreciate and acknowledge Chief Blanchard and his team for engaging with our residents in Pelican Cove recently in an HOA meeting. It was very informative, very helpful for all of our residents, so thank you, Chief Blanchard. While I understand the concern of communicating too much information on a criminal investigation, I would encourage selective utilization of the system for the community's safety. So thank you all for the time tonight.
Thank you.
If just to let you know, since I'm not going to respond, but if you get with me, I would love to explore some of these more with you.
Excellent, thank you, Chief.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Frank Bennett.
Mine's not as critical as floods. The little town I'm from is China Grove, and we had about 10 acres of land in the middle of town that 20 years ago when we were annexing our property in, the owner of that property did not want to be annexed in. Well, then we found out why. Because a year goes by and then he sells it. He sells it to a fireworks company. And we cannot shoot fireworks off in our town, but yet we got this big metal building in the middle of our town, and everybody in town thinks, well, what the hell? We can't shoot them, but we can sell them here? We can't, because that property is not in our town, and it's not annexed in our town, but it's in our town. My question to y'all is, the new building behind Lowe's, is that property in? It's not annexed? That property is not annexed. So somehow y'all need to relate that to, when you in your newsletters, to clear up the air, so people don't think that city council, we can't shoot them, but we can buy them. The normal person is going to think that, and that's what I want verified. If you can put a newsletter out, or the ones you do put out, put that in there somehow, that property is not part of the city limits, and that would clear the air for everybody. And number two, not to be mean, Mayor, but I still got one vehicle that has not been moved on my street, 601 South Rife. The address is 630 South Rife. And I was just wondering, I don't usually do this, how would you like it if I took that vehicle and put it in front of the Bakery Cafe? I'm just messing with you. It wouldn't be there in 2 days, it'd be gone. It expired, everything about the car expired over a year ago. It doesn't run. The owners finally came up and took one of the Suburbans. They still got one there. It's been there over a year, and everything about it's no insurance, no inspection sticker, no license plates. But it's on city property too, and that's why I brought up the tow truck question the other time, last time we talked. Anyway, that's all I got. Look into that vehicle, get it out of the neighborhood. Because I know you would not like it in front of the bakery. I'm just messing with you. I wouldn't do that to you and nobody.
I have people to sit there and beg for money in front of the restaurant.
Pardon?
No, I have people to sit in front of a restaurant and beg for money.
Oh, yeah, but
I shouldn't say nothing, but it's okay.
No. We understand.
Eric.
Anyway, I appreciate y'all's time, and I know what it feels like to be on the city council. I've been many years in my town, and you'll get more enemies in the time you're sitting up there by being up there than you would your entire life, because people don't like the way you vote because they want it done their way. And y'all, God bless y'all for doing what you do. Have a good evening.
Yes, Mayor, that's on the agenda. I was actually sending a notification right now for the junk vehicle issue.
Okay. So now we're going to go to Monica Lott.
Hello. I'm here because I was only given this opportunity to be able to speak for 3 minutes. Was trying to address the mayor and your city manager with some concerns that I have. I am a tenant of the Aransas Pass Housing Authority, and I have issued some complaints with your board. I was rejected to be placed on the agenda by your city manager, saying that he would not allow me to be placed on the agenda. I wanted to do it in closed session because I do have witnesses that are willing to come forward. These are past employees of the same person I'm having issues with. And I just feel that the city of Aransas Pass should allow me the opportunity to be able to do this in closed session, not to have to disclose my information in the public. These people have jobs, businesses and stuff like that they want to discuss, because your board members that you've appointed, you told me that y'all have no authority over them. But if you appoint them, you should be able to hear the concerns of the neglect of their duties. They're neglecting their duties to do their job as what they promised to do, and they failed to do that. And we've come to you because we've already exhausted all that. And y'all have failed to even allow me the opportunity to be able to come in closed session. And if the Texas Workforce Commission Civil Rights Division is willing to accept my case, I don't see how the city of Aransas Pass won't allow me to do it with y'all so I can disclose whatever's going on. Because we're dealing with discrimination, harassment, retaliation, while being a tenant by the director of housing, Christina Beard. People have been fired. They've been banned from the property. So when I tried to go to have a meeting with them, these people couldn't even go as my witnesses because they're banned from the property. And they worked for her. And not just that, I have a whole file here, and I could show you everything, of emails that the woman had sent. I filed a complaint, and the same day, 2 hours later, she filed a complaint against me for discrimination. I'm being told that she knows how Mexicans live all under one roof. That is the type of environment that I'm living in. And I should be able to live at peace, just like everybody else should. I doubt, like they brought up your bakery, I doubt you would want your employees to be discriminated against, retaliated against, while they're working for you. And I expect the same thing in return. I expect respect because I respect the woman, but I expect it in return. And I've come and I've tried to talk to you multiple times. Some of these people here have tried to talk to you multiple times, and you shut the door to them. So how do people move forward? How do the concerns and the questions that they have, how do they get addressed if you shut the doors on them? It's your job as the mayor and the council to help to work for the citizens of Aransas. And we are citizens here, we residents here, and it's your job. And you've shut the doors on me. You personally have shut the doors on me, and so has your city manager, to the point where I have to come over here for a 3-minute comment and talk about how living in front of people I don't know. And I should have been given the opportunity to do it in closed session. And I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in you as a mayor, because you appointed these people. You appointed these people and you swore them in that they were promised to do their job, and they have failed to do that. And you have failed to do yours.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I say one thing? It had nothing to do with that. You ain't got to spend time to be old people here.
But
We can't hear nothing.
Well,
The microphones don't work that well back here. You may hear them, but we can't hear hardly anything. This young lady had a complaint. I
okay.
haven't heard one word she said.
We need to get that guy for the mics, where they need to speak closer to the mics.
That's all I can.
Yeah, go
Are you
ahead.
gonna put that on, tell him to put that on the agenda?
Yeah, that's something we need to look
that-
into.
No, here,
That's the reason a board is appointed by the mayor with approval of the council. We do not get involved with the day-to-day operation of the housing authority. We don't oversee the housing authority. We encouraged contact with HUD, and HUD doesn't want to do it either. They're throwing it back to us and to the board. That's a board authority. That's the reason they are there. We do not get involved with the day-to-day operation of the housing authority.
If I may respond, y'all don't have authority for for the housing authority, but the board members, because you appoint the board members. So if you appoint the board members,
Okay.
you tell them y'all swear to come and do this, and if
Okay.
they don't do that, who?
ma'am, you already had your time to speak. Okay, so anybody else?
Do you plan to do anything about that, Mayor? Is there anything we can do about that?
What did you say?
We will certainly look into that further.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The only
Well,
thing I can
yeah.
say is we'll look into it and see what we do.
We will
about
certainly
it.
look into that further.
Because
We
have
absolutely
nothing to do
will.
with the housing authority. We just appoint them, and then after that, it's up to them and HUD and whatnot to work with her and do whatever needs to be done.
I want to get your phone number when we're done here.
That's a different story. Okay, well, that's a different story.
I don't think so, Mayor.
I'm just telling you. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, now we're gonna go to staff reports and other discussion items, which is,
Is it on that form that you filled out? Yeah. Okay.
which is mayoral declaration of local disaster proclamation by Mayor Gomez in accordance with the Texas Government Code 418108 for the period June 19, 2024 through June 25th, June 25th, 2024.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and that's the proclamation that we had for the storm. Okay, now we're gonna go to consent agenda. No discussion is anticipated on any of the items in this section because they are routine business, were included in the budget adoption process or have been previously discussed as a staff period of discussion item. These items will be considered collectively by a single vote unless a council member requests an item will be removed from the consent agenda. And is for the approval of May 14, 2024 special meeting minutes and approval of May 20, 2024 regular meeting.
Mayor and council,
Minutes.
can I make just a quick comment about the agenda? I think you guys are doing a great job tonight of struggling through a brand-new agenda format. Just to remind the members of the public, this is the first night that we're using this new format, and we're all looking at it new for the first time. So I do ask the public to kind of forgive some of our procedural uncertainty here. But just for clarification, there are several comments throughout the agenda that are written in italics, like the paragraph that you just read, and those are background information for the members of the public who may be reading the agenda. They do not need to be read out loud, and so we can skip over those paragraphs and just deal with the parts of the agenda that we're actually going to be addressing tonight. So in this case, on the consent agenda, there are two items, the approval of the minutes for the May 14th meeting and the May 20th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the approval of May 14th special meeting and May 20th regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. We'll do the other one or just that?
Yeah, now you move on to action items.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to action items. Is the approved ordinance number 2024-4464, an emergency ordinance of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas, extending a local state of disaster declaration due to a public health and safety emergency known as Tropical Storm Alberto.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is kind of a customary item that comes before you as a result of the state declared disaster by the governor. In order for us to participate in the escalation of trying to seek or receive some benefits for the damages our community faced, we have to have a disaster declaration. Sandra, emergency management, and the rest of the city has already been working in this direction with documentation and paperwork.
All right, we have an ordinance change number on this item number. So I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4461, which is different from what's on the agenda. An emergency ordinance of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas, extending a local state of disaster declaration due to a public health and safety emergency known as Tropical Storm Alberto.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to awarding the drainage improvements for Saunders and Jackson Place project to Hanson Professional Services Incorporated and authorizing chief staff to begin negotiations on a contract for engineering services.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So this is one of many projects that are coming forward today. You're going to see a tidal wave of progress. Not that we didn't have progress before, but you're going to see a lot of deliverables coming in very, very soon. This is one of them. This is to complete the drainage project from Saunders. We have a lot of flooding issues on Saunders, and when we found out during the investigation, there's an incomplete ditch that connects to commercial. So we went through the scoring process. We interviewed the engineering firm, and Hanson was the one that was recommended to move forward with to get that drainage system completed. The project will be done in-house, so basically they'll just be designing it, telling us what size of pipe, what elevations to do, and our crew will be installing the drainage system ourselves.
David, that drainage system that was put in about 2 years ago over there on South Saunders, is that the same one that's supposed to drain out into commercial?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, all of Saunders is supposed to drain towards commercial.
Is that why it's backing up?
Yes, correct. It's supposed to drain down the Roadrunner Park, trailer park, and then into commercial, but there's nowhere for the water to go except in the ground.
Okay, one time I was out there, the county said that they own that drainage system. Do they?
So it is going to be on county land. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask for reimbursement from the county, from San Pat Drainage District once the project's complete. But since it's affecting our citizens, I really didn't want to put the project in the hands of a different entity that would basically do it at their timeline. Since it's our citizens suffering right now, I wanted to take the project under control ourselves, finish the project, and basically say, hey, this is what we spent, and reimburse us.
Okay, that one that's in front of 600 South Saunders and that block is backing up because of, I guess, because of your deal on commercial.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you, David.
I move to award a contract to Hanson Professional Service for the Saunders and Jackson Place project and authorizing city staff to begin negotiations on a contract for engineering services.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to awarding the design of the scoop press at the wastewater treatment plant project to Urban Engineering and authorizing city staff to begin negotiations on a contract for engineering services.
So yes, at our wastewater plant, we have our traditional drying beds. We basically just throw a whole bunch of sludge in a containment, let the sun dry it out, and then we just haul it off. With this case, if we switch over to a screw press, we'll be able to immediately dehydrate the sludge and haul it off. So it'll really increase our efficiency, be able to process more waste a lot faster, and because right now we have a big bottleneck at the plant, but with this, it'll be a game changer. So this is just an engineering service to provide the equipment, the piping. We will contract this out because of the complexity, and we want to make sure we get warranty and guarantees and things of that sort. And TCQ is requiring it for it to be engineered as well, so that'll be the duty of this engineering firm.
I make a motion to award the design of the screw press to Urban Engineering and authorizing city staff to begin negotiations on a contract for engineering services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Authorize publication of a request for qualification for engineering services related to the Yoakum lift station improvements.
The next handful of RFQs are just permission to start advertising for more engineering firms, or it could be repeat of other engineering firms. But this is for Yoakum lift station. We have a lot of I&I, which is infiltration and inflow. Basically, a whole bunch of groundwater is going into our wet well. The pumps are good. The piping's good. We just have a lot of water coming in that we're having to send to the plant. So we're looking for an engineering service, professional service to help us slip line this well. So basically, it's a process where you just leave the existing concrete, you just kind of put a liner on it to keep the water out. So this is just permission to advertise for engineering.
I move to go out for RFQs for engineering services related to the Yoakum lift station improvements.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we go to authorize publication of request for qualification for engineering services related to the design of the 2023 water line upgrade project.
Last week during a workshop, I brought to you 5 different sections of town that we can afford to do with the money we had budgeted. So this is basically to hire an engineering to advertise to get engineering services for the water line upgrades.
Which ones did you pick?
For sure it's going to be that Lamont, and we're going to wait till we get the engineering firm on contract so we can help decide which one would be more beneficial on the second section.
Good idea. I make a motion to authorize publication of an RFQ for engineering services related to the design of the 2023 waterline upgrade project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to authorize publication of request for proposal for the installation of the SCADA on water stations and wastewater lift station services.
So in the 2023 budget, you guys gave some stickers for some SCADA controls for some of our water stations and lift stations. So this is basically just to get a proposal, not RFQ, but actually RFP, I believe, to see if we can get a supplier to give us some. Did I put qualification on, or did I do an RFP?
It's on.
It says proposals.
Okay, because the agenda says RFQ. This is RFQ engineering for SCADA. So it's supposed to be request for proposals for installation. So we're trying to look for a supplier to provide this. So we're just going to advertise. We're going to come up with a bid tab, advertise it, and once the bids come in, we'll bring you the lowest responsible bidder, and we can approve from there.
Okay, is this the same SCADA system that we worked on before from FEMA?
Yeah, we're adding more
Adding
more
more
to it.
to it?
Yes. So we're trying to get into the same system. We're just trying to get more online to add on to what we have now. And I read it wrong. I guess when I typed up the link, I put RFQ, but the RFP is correct. So
It says proposals.
yeah, it was my link that was typed wrong.
Yeah.
But that's
I move to go out for RFPs for the installation of a SCADA on water stations and wastewater lift station services.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Thank you.
opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to approving a contract with Weaver and Jacobs for construction manager and services in connection with the new fire station and police department renovation project.
Let me go ahead and kick this off. I think some people are here who can comment on it also. But this is related to the police and fire station. And it is a proposal to bring on board as far as the construction goes. And Candace is going to call somebody also. A project manager at risk. That's something that I haven't worked with before, but many people have. And that is the project manager would be setting certain financial limits as far as the project goes, and it cannot go above that amount. And that's the at-risk portion of this particular proposal. So the people who are here, and I think we're calling somebody also, if you can go into more detail, or, okay.
And this is just to overlook the project, right?
And it's
No.
correct, yes.
Justin, I think Justin is on the line. He's with the architects, and
Yeah.
we have Jody here, and a representative from Jacob Weaver's here as well. If you guys
When we
want to come
start
up.
with, I'm sorry.
You want to start with with Justin?
Let's start with Justin.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so the selection of construction manager at risk, it varies a little bit from the typical contractor procurement process in that they are hired during construction, or during design rather, so that they can assist with cost estimating and constructability and help the city as a partner in planning the project, and then also construct the project once it's ready. So the process was followed. Selection criteria was established in the RFP. It received several submissions, and they were scored according to the criteria by the city's committee. Found two firms to be the highest scoring to bring the best value to the city, and those two firms were interviewed. And after the interviews, you'll see on the page 2 there, the final scoring identified Weaver and Jacobs as providing the best value to the city. Just kind of to describe a little bit more about that selection process and the grading criteria. A large portion of it is the fee. And again, this is not the fee to actually build the project. It's not the construction cost, but it is they are required to submit their fee as a percentage of construction cost, as well as an itemized list of their general conditions, so that we're comparing apples to apples as far as what the fees the city will pay to the general contractor. That fee portion makes up 50 points of the 100-point scale, and then the remainder of the 50 points is things like qualifications of their personnel, of their firm, relevant experience with these types of buildings in this region, and also references who were contacted. And so once all that's added together, that gives you the total out of 100, and then the 2 additional firms had the 25-point interview evaluation as well. So that's kind of a summary of the process and how that building committee came to the evaluation of Weaver and Jacobs being recommended to be hired.
Anybody any questions?
Did we want to hear from?
Do you folks?
We're on the same team.
Oh, okay.
We
Did
do
you-
have a representative.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, come on in.
Excuse me. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Brzozowski with Weaver and Jacobs Constructors, Vice President, and I run the Corpus Christi office or division that we have down here. So I'm not sure if y'all have any specific questions for me or anything about the project itself or the proposal that we turned in, but happy to answer.
I'm good.
All right. Thank you.
I make a motion to award a contract with Weaver and Jacobs for construction manager at-risk services in connection with the new fire station and police department renovation project.
Give a second. Well, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I vote no because this project did not go to the vote of the people.
Okay,
I vote no because the project didn't go before the people.
okay. Well, it
So
didn't go,
will we
so we move
table
on to
it
the
for
next
next
item.
time?
Thomas, what would be the best way to approach this?
Put it on another agenda.
Yeah, under Robert's Rules of Order, a tie vote fails, and so that motion does not pass tonight, but it's normal process when there's an incomplete council to put it on the next agenda to allow the complete council to vote on the project. So we can put it on the next agenda.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion for that, or no?
No, ma'am.
No, okay.
Now we're gonna go to executive session. All items listed in this section will be deliberated in a closed session. Members of the public are not generally permitted to attend a closed session. Executive session items may be considered as an action item at the discretion of the mayor. However, city council will not take any action in closed session. And it is on Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with the attorney on matters matters involving pending or contemplated litigation or other matters in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act, which will be Thomas, I'm not gonna say your last name, city attorney. Goosh, or whatever. Anyway, and Texas Government Code 551.074 to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee. And the City Secretary, Gary Edwards, City Managers. So it is 6:09. reconvene in open session and may take action on any item listed in the executive session section of this agenda.
No action needed. I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? How you doing?
All
You got really
right.
good here, Thomas.
Done.
I'm just saying.
Done and
I'm so
done.
excited.